This is my tiny, small, little office. This is my YouTube studio where I try to shoot videos and meet with clients and get work done. As a full-time YouTube creator, I need a quiet, dedicated space where I can shoot videos during the day and I can take client calls without interruption and I can record podcasts when it's convenient for my schedule and other people's schedule. I need that flexibility in order for me to get the work done I need to get done and then also have evenings available to spend with my family. I knew something needed to change when I felt like I was consistently choosing between my marriage and time with my wife and shooting videos and getting work done. Because my wife and I do have 7 little kids that love to run around outside and make noise and explore and have lots of fun, that does mean that for this space, for me to work, it needs to be soundproof and it needs to be quiet so I can get the work done in this space while they're outside having fun, making noise, and it doesn't come into where I'm trying to work.
Moving into this nice, wonderful house and great big garage and 5 acres of land made me feel really bad for Tim when he moved into the doghouse.
His old studio was right underneath my bedroom, so it was hard to fall asleep because he was talking. When Dad would shoot in our house, it would keep me up at night.
He picked the smallest, stinkiest place to go work, and I feel like we're here and we're getting to enjoy this place because of how hard he's been working.
So my wife and I are like, you know what, let's take this little dog kennel, it's out in the garage, and let's bust down some of these walls and let's make it bigger into a full-blown YouTube studio that will allow you to do exactly that.
And I get to spend more time with him if he can actually shoot his videos during the day instead of having to wait until the kids are in bed, which is usually the more optimal time for us to spend time together.
I said they soak up the milk really quickly. It's a sponge.
I wasn't even really sure where to start. Like, how much space do I really need for the types of different lenses I have for my camera? And what kind of lighting and gear am I going to get? And how am I going to set it all up so it's permanent but out of the way and not intrusive but also flexible so I can use the space for shooting videos, for client calls, for live streaming, for meetings, and all sorts of different uses that I need for my business here on YouTube. So I reached out to my friends over at Live Streaming Pros because they design a lot of live streaming sets, and they said, hey Tim, you need our course, Professional Video Studio, and it will walk you through all of that. So I went through the course, and at the end of it, I came up with this design, this original architect, this drawing for what I wanted to create. So here's the plan of what I want my ultimate YouTube studio to look like. Basically going to be a big 20 by 20 square. I'm gonna have my desk facing this window right over here. That'll be awesome. I want to have a table and chairs for working, a whiteboard up on this wall, which would kind of end up being right here where this space is, and then the door will move from being right here to kind of being out this way. The thing I'm most excited about are having these lights set up on the ceiling so I can shoot at any time. Looking forward to having just one switch to flip and boom, all the lighting is now turned on and set up for different environments and different activities in my new YouTube studio. Planning this out was essential so I knew exactly what materials I needed to buy, and I could give it to an electrician who would know exactly where to run all the wires and where to set the plug outlets and where to run lighting and everything I needed. We're getting ready to make the very first cut. This is Mr. Nick, and he is a friend of ours here to help me learn how to do this because I've never torn down walls or built them before. So he knows how. He's gonna be an electrician, he's gonna set up all the lights to look awesome in the new YouTube studio. One of my favorite parts about this project was doing it with my kids. Part of our family vision is to do things together and have shared experiences. And one of the sayings in the Schmoyer household is good work brings good reward. And that we make temporary sacrifices for future reward. And we do what's right, not necessarily just what's easy.
I'm excited for it because we can shoot a lot more videos in it, and it'll be a lot of fun just to see how to build a new room, how to do construction.
Hold it ready. About there for me. Roll that little tape.
We were learning a bunch of new stuff, like how to find where to put the screws in the drywall and how to take down the walls without taking down the walls that it was attached to. There you go.
And this is one of those types of experiences. It's gonna be a lot of hard work, and we're gonna learn new skills together.
I feel like we build our relationships through what we're doing together as a family, and then we can use them together to help our family grow.
When we build together, it feels like it builds relationships with each other, and it's fun to work with other people.
And it was so cool for me and my kids both to see how our hard work was paying off and how this whole space was slowly but surely coming together for an amazing reward. We got the walls up, starting to come together. You can see kind of the outline of my new office now. Is this exciting? You like building new rooms?
I think I'm through the wall.
You can walk through walls?
I can walk through walls.
Oh my gosh! At first, black might seem like a weird color to paint the walls, but it absorbs the most amount of light, which means that the light won't bounce around the room a lot. We can control the light a lot more and get the exact shot we're looking for lighting-wise. So, black it is. One of the main challenges I had in designing this space is how do I make it soundproof so that my wife and the kids can just do their thing outside and I can still have a quiet space like this to record in as I'm doing right now. As you can probably hear, there is a lot of echo in this room, so it is definitely going to need some help. We're gonna have carpet going in, panels on the ceiling to absorb, but these walls are definitely gonna need some treatment. And thankfully, I saw a video on YouTube that's gonna help me do that for really cheap. Link to it down below, but let me show you what we're gonna build. It's going to hopefully take all this echo and just totally eliminate it. The basic idea here is pretty simple. I bought a case of cheap hotel towels, built some frames for them, and I just stretched the towels inside the frames so that when I hang them on the wall, they absorb a lot of the sound. I want them to look nice too, so I got some custom print fabric, really cheap, hung them up, and instead of spending about $400 for a professional panel, I ended up with 14 total panels for about the same price. After a lot of hard work over several months, my Ultimate YouTube Studio started with this. And now looks like this. Doesn't this place just look so legit? I love it. It actually makes me feel like I'm a legit YouTube creator, like business owner type thing, being in a space like this where I can come and I can just work, as opposed to it kind of being like this old dog kennel, or sometimes in the kitchen or in the living room or wherever I could just find space to work. Having it just makes me feel like, like I'm actually accomplishing and doing something with this business. Like it's growing. I don't know, it's like something tangible of something that was just totally intangible before. But the best part about this is that I no longer feel like I'm choosing between work and my wife. And ultimately, I no longer have to stay up late at night. I can shoot in here when it's quiet during the day, and I no longer have to sacrifice time with my wife in order to get that done. I think that is my favorite part about all of this. As YouTube creators, we spend a lot of time focusing on our gear, our camera equipment, our audio equipment, and everything we're using to produce these videos, including a studio space like this. But none of it really matters if you tell a really boring story. And so I want you to click right here, put together a short playlist for you of just the top skills you really need to acquire in order to be able to tell really engaging stories with studio spaces like this and camera gear that you're using. That's gonna get you started. So click right there and I'll see you over in the next video.